heavenly man and for a solar logos. This will only be possible if the concept is extended to cosmic levels and beyond the systemic. Through the ideas here imparted, it may be possible for the student to think out, for himself, some aspects of the place of menace in cosmic evolution. It necessitates a somewhat synthetic viewpoint, and the steady holding of the thought of purpose in all activity, whether cosmic, systemic, planetary, or microcosmic. It is the fire of divine impulse permeating all forms, and driving those forms to certain action and achievement. The fire of matter earlier dealt with is the dynamic fire of motion, which keeps in activity each atom of matter. The fire of mind is the coherent impulse and purpose, driving the forms, built up of active matter, in a specific direction, and along certain destined paths. It is consequently karmic impulse, originating cause, and operating will. It is likewise the result or the effect of this action in time, and only as the triad comes into play, via the esoteric four, are the fires of both mind and matter burnt out and the fire of spirit set free. The present stage of monastic development in the three groups literally, should we paraphrase this sentence, we might express it in the form of an inquiry, as to the point attained in the active working out of the purposes of the great entities involved in cosmic and systemic manifestation. We might also inquire, if the intelligent will of the cosmic logos, and of the solar logos and equally, within the system, of the different planetary logoi, proceeded satisfactorily to a stage where it can be both appreciated and somewhat comprehended. These thoughts are involved in the consideration of this point, and open up for us much of very real interest. It should here be pointed out that the monastic principle, whether cosmic, systemic, or human, manifests in 5 ways, is transmuted into wisdom after its 5-fold manifestation, and eventually is resolved into pure will or power. Herein lies the clue. All the objective display we see around us in connection with the heavenly men, and with the cells of their bodies, lies hidden in this. Herein may be found the mystery of the 5 Kumaras, who are awaiting the final resolution, and herein is secreted the knowledge of divine alchemy, which is based on the 5 elements, and is concerned with their transformation into a primal element through the medium of an intermediate stage. 1. In the planets. Occult students need, in considering these points, to remember very clearly the distinction between transmutation and the final resolution. Between the process of transforming the 5 elements, esoterically understood, and the final resolution of the transmuted essences into their synthesis. This has a vital bearing upon our subject, for resolution is as yet by no means possible, and the process of transmutation is only just beginning in the majority of cases. In studying these subjects we have necessarily to confine ourselves to the heavenly men, for the human units as cells in their body are of course included in all that is posited about them, and until it is known which cosmic logos recognizes our solar logos as a center in his body, and which 6 other systems are affiliated with ours, it will not be possible to touch upon the systemic stage of monastic development. But in connection with the heavenly men certain facts are possible of theoretical comprehension, even though not as yet demonstrable to the scientific mind. We will, as usual, tabulate our premises, and thus keep clearly in mind, and visualized, the points under investigation. First, it might first be said that the third aspect, combined with the second, or Brahma and Vishnu allied, go to the totality of the divine Manasaputras. They are will utilizing matter, or active intelligent substance, in order to demonstrate love wisdom. All this is based on purpose, and has causation as a fundamental. This Brahmi aspect is 5-fold and, with the Vishnu aspect, makes the 6, or the pentagon, having Mahadeva or will in the center of all manifestation. Second, this fivefold Brahma aspect or the five Kumaras, are in full manifestation, and, with the reflection of the other two aspects, make the seven of our manifested system. Third, Mercury and Venus are in process of transmutation, and the monastic principle in both these schemes, having reached a high stage of development, is being transmuted into love wisdom. When 3/5 of the units, Deva and human, that go to the composition of the vehicles of any planetary logos, are entering upon the path, then the process of transmutation is entered upon. The faculty of mind is then an instrument for creative use, and not the slayer of the real, and a barrier to the free life of the spirit. Again, it must be noted that Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Vulcan are as yet developing manas, and the stage achieved in each varies, and is not for exoteric publication. The heavenly men of these schemes have not yet succeeded in bringing their bodies to the stage where transmutation on a large scale is possible. They are approaching it, and when the necessary 3/5 is reached, then they will begin to transmute on a larger scale. The Earth scheme has about 1/5 in process of transmutation in one or other of the globes at this time, and Vulcan has very nearly 2/5. We might here point out that though we are concerned primarily with manas in the human cells in the body of a planetary logos, yet we must remember that the Deva units in some schemes preponderate. Although from the standpoint of a human being the Devas are in no way considered as coming under the influence of manas, as we understand it, yet from another angle they are manas itself, the active creative force, the fifth and the sixth hierarchies in full display. We should ponder upon the relationship, a necessarily close relationship, between the fifth Deva hierarchy, and the fifth logoic principle, and we should also bear in mind that viewing the whole matter from the angle of vision of a heavenly man, the Devas are a corporate part of his nature, and he is a Manasaputra, a creative builder, and the fivefold aspect of Brahma. The sum total of manas is pure Deva essence, and it is only as union is made between this fivefold third aspect and the other two aspects that what we understand as man, whether heavenly man or human, comes into being. The Devas are united with these other two factors, and the result is A. A solar logos. B. A heavenly man. C. A human being. This is a great mystery and is alike to the mystery of electricity, or of poetic life, which HPB 14442 refers to. The messengers, the builders, the Devas, are flaming fire, radiant electric matter, and only in time and space, only during manifestation and only through the cycles of objectivity, is such an entity as man possible, or can a heavenly man come into existence. Outside a solar ring pass not, for instance, and as far as our evolution is concerned, we have radiant electric substance, active, intelligent ether, ensouled by the Deva evolution. 145 Treatise. What I call spiritual-ideal constitution is what is known as Swarga in our Sanskrit works, and the entities that are functioning there are called the Treatise, which of course means fathers. These Treatise are often heard of in a sort of antithetical way to the Devas in our Puranas, and this has led some of our Hindus, many theosophists included, to think that the Treatise and Devas are in two distinct spheres of life. Now Treatise and Devas always exist together, the Devas giving the consciousness and the Treatise forming the body. The two are relative terms. If the Treatise be water, the Devas are the fire in the water. If the Treatise be fire, the Devas are the flame in that fire. If the Treatise be the flame, the Devas are the conscious principle that actuates the flame and gives to the flame the power of illumining the world and making it exist as a factor of our consciousness. From the highest to the lowest plane of life, the Treatise furnish the objective aspect and the Devas the subjective aspect, and life itself is a stream that forms the middle line. When instead of 3 locus the cosmos is divided more accurately into 7 locus, you may assort the three higher locus to the devas, the three lower to the pitris, and the middle to the life stream, which may be conceived as the point in which the deva essence is changed into pitric essence, or the no loka is made fit to appear as a loka down below, or the unmanifested becomes the manifested. Some thoughts on the Gita, p. 56.43. These work blindly and under the laws of cosmic electricity. We must differentiate with care between cosmic electricity and the electrical akasha of the system, which is electrical substance confined and brought under another set of laws through the instrumentality of another factor, that of pure spirit. Outside the ring pass not, we have that abstraction which we call pure spirit. This pure spirit, or abstract, conscious being, through conscious karma periodically seeks to manifest, and wills to work out a purpose under the laws of its own being, and is thus impelled by the attractive quality of its opposite pole, intelligent substance, to blend with it. The meeting of these two polarities, and their point of merging, causes that flash in the cosmic universe which we call a sum, and results in light or objectivity. Within the ring pass not, therefore, the electric fire of pure spirit can only manifest through merging or union with electrical substance, and is, therefore, during evolution and for the major portion of the process, limited by it. In fact, little as it is realized, the Deva evolution controls for the greater portion of manifestation up to the beginning of the transmutative process. They build incessantly the confining form. When the process of transmutation is effected by the five heavenly men, then the whole system is reaching a very high stage of evolution, and with the two schemes which will be entering into the stage of obscuration, the resolving process will commence. The plan, viewed largely, will be as follows. The four schemes which form the logoic quaternary will merge into their synthesizing scheme, that of Saturn, while Venus and Mercury will merge into Uranus and Neptune. No importance need be attached to the sequence of these names. The dual fact is all that is necessary to grasp. Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn will, therefore, have absorbed the essence of manifestation and, in connection with the solar logos, they correspond to the three permanent atoms in the causal body of a man. We say, correspond, for the analogy is not in detail. Uranus and Neptune are reflections of the logoic astral and mental permanent atoms. Saturn is in fact the correspondence to the logoic physical permanent atom. This is an occult mystery, and must not be separated from its allied truth in the cosmic scheme. Viewing manas as the vibratory activity of all atoms and narrowing our concept down to our own scheme, it is interesting to note that some correspondences can be traced as we study this fifth principle during the present round, the fourth. The manasic principle is the basis of the coming into activity, and the mental recognition of the following facts in nature. The fifth spirilla within the atom of matter will become active. This fifth spirilla is beginning faintly to vibrate, while the fourth spirilla in this fourth round is assuming a vibration that will cause the intense vitalization of the vehicles, and eventually bring about the shattering of the form, and the subsequent escape of the spirit into a form composed of matter which responds to the vibration of the fifth spirilla.